Hey, so everyone has that special chicken that they just absolutely love. And when that chicken lays its first egg, it's pretty special. And you might want to keep that egg. So I had one of those hens. Her name was Butter, and she laid me eggs in the house. So Butter's eggs were tiny. She's a little bantam, and she was my favorite. Anyway, I have some eggs from hers, and I'd like to make a little memorial because she just recently passed away. So I've got these eggs, and I want to blow them out so that I can keep them forever. It's taken me a while and a whole bunch of explosions to figure out how to do it really accurately and really efficiently. So thought I'd make this little video and just give you some ideas of what you might be able to do if one of your special hens lays a super special egg. I've got a sewing needle, a paper towel, a glass jar to blow it into. I've got some warm water, and I have 2 cans of air. And you want 2 cans of air because if you're in the middle of blowing out an egg and one of the cans freezes up, it's really handy to be able to flip between the 2 of them. So here we go. First thing I'm gonna do, the air sac is always at the fat end of the egg. So I'm gonna poke a hole at the fat end of the egg with this sewing needle, and I'm gonna go into that eggshell just a couple of times so that I can get a little bit of a hole. So this is about the width of like maybe 2 pinholes. And you can just barely see that. Okay, so then on the other end of the egg, I'm gonna poke a slightly larger hole. This is probably gonna be the size of like maybe 3 or 4 pinholes. And I'm just barely pressing to break through the shell. And I'm just pressing at the edge of the existing hole that I already created. And then you kind of just wiggle it around a few times. So there's my slightly larger hole. I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger. So I try to make the hole as small as possible. Big enough to get the egg out, small enough that you don't really see it. So on this end, on the narrower end, I'm gonna make that hole just a tiny bit bigger. And it's kind of hard to tell, but it is a little bit bigger. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is go in there and kind of disturb that membrane. So I stick that egg, stick the needle all the way in there, kind of wiggle it around a few times. Do the same thing on the other end. Wiggle it around a few times. Here comes my jar. So I'm gonna use the fat end of the egg up, and that's where I'm gonna blow the air into the air sac side of the egg. I'm gonna hold that over the jar just like that. And then without making the tube touch the egg, I'm gonna blow some air in the direction of the egg, and I'm gonna wait for it to come out the other end. And there it goes. Did you see that? I'm gonna turn this jar so there's no writing. Let's try that again. Can you see that air flowing in? So the reason why you don't want to blow or you don't want to seal the tube against the egg is because if you put more air into that egg, then the egg can come out the other end into the shell. You'll explode the egg. Believe me, I did this a couple times. Exploded egg all over the house, took a long time to clean up. So you blow in the general direction, and if it seems like it's getting stuck and it is a little bit clumpy, you use that pin and you just kind of mix it up again. Kind of tease that membrane and then keep going. And I can tell that my can's about to dry up or get frozen. And so I'm gonna switch to my other one. You can tell that the strength of the can is a lot better. And I'm just gonna keep blowing in the direction of that air hole. So the air goes in really easily, but the egg comes out a little bit slower, which is why you want the air on the air sac end of the egg, and you want that larger hole on the narrower side where you're blowing the egg out. So now I can tell that all the egg is out of my out of the shell. So now what I'm gonna do is use my warm water here and my needle, and I'm gonna submerge the egg. And I'm actually gonna see if you can see this. Forgive me. So there's little bubbles coming out of that warm water, which is exactly what we want. So we're gonna try to flood the egg with a little bit of water here, and I'm gonna use that pin to help disturb the membrane so that the water goes in and the egg comes out. And so once I feel like I have, not a lot, but a little bit of air, or a little bit of water into that egg, I'll seal up those, and I'm gonna just shake it back and forth. Nope, not very much in there yet. But essentially what we're trying to do is rinse out the inside of the egg. And you can do that by flooding it with some water, and then we'll just blow that water right back out again. Shake that water all up. I'm gonna take that same egg and I'm gonna blow this out. Well, you can blow it back out. I'll just blow it out here in the water. Usually I blow it out into the sink. Again, we're not making the tube touch the edge of the shell so that we're not blowing the egg up from the inside out. And then once I get that all, you can hear all the eggs, or all the egg is all gone from the inside of the shell. Now I have a perfectly blown out egg with fairly minimal holes on either side. And let's see, there we go. My lips are still intact, my lungs are still intact, and with 2 cans of air, that went really fast. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that gives you some ideas on how to use blown out eggs and do some cool stuff with them.